Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're looking at something pretty familiar, the watermelon. Simple summer fruit, right?
Seems simple enough.
Well, we're going to uncover the really astonishing industrial scale and complexity behind getting it to your table. Before we even jump in, let's talk numbers. Our sources say the U.S. consumes over 1.7 million tons of watermelon a year.
That's a staggering amount.
It really is. I mean, try to picture this. Line them all up end to end, and they'd circle the Earth's equator almost twice.
Wow.
That's the kind of scale we're dealing with. So our mission today, go from seed to table, look at the human skill, the massive effort, and the surprising tech involved.
And it's a huge part of U.S. agriculture, definitely. Watermelons grow all over, from Florida and Georgia, those windy fields, right out to the valleys in California.
Big footprint, then.
Oh, yeah. And Florida. It's really the historical giant here. A single state pumping out nearly a quarter of the whole country's supply. It's the kingdom of watermelon, you could say.
Okay, the kingdom of watermelon. I like that.
Yeah.
So let's unpack this. You've got these huge fields, millions of tons potentially out there. How do farmers even know when to start picking? It can't just be a calendar date, right? There must be some art to it.
There absolutely is. It's less high-tech at this stage and more about traditional specialized knowledge. Really looking and listening to the fruit to find that peak ripeness, that perfect moment.
Okay, so what are they looking for?
Well, several things at once. Visually, the bright green stripes. As it gets ripe, that vibrant green actually dulls a bit, fades to a paler shade.
Huh. So less bright is better. Interesting.
Kind of counterintuitive, isn't it? And maybe even more important is the ground spot.
The spot where it sits on the soil.
Exactly. That starts out sort of whitish green. But when the melon's ready, it turns this really distinct creamy yellow color, deep yellow.
Okay, visual cues. But what about the famous tap test? I've seen my grandpa do it. People do it in the store. Is that actually real? What are they listening for?
Oh, it's definitely real. And probably the most iconic method, right? It tells the farmer about the inside, the density.
How so?
Well, you tap a perfectly ripe watermelon, and it gives off this deep, hollow sound, like a full drum. That low thud means the sugars, the juices, everything inside is mature, fully developed.
And if it sounds different?
Yeah, if it's kind of dull or flat, it might be overripe, mushy. And if it's got a high-pitched metallic ring, not ready yet. Needs more time.
So it's like an acoustic check for ripeness.
That's pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so the signs are their colors faded, ground spots yellow, it sounds like a drum, time to harvest. Which brings us to the human chain, right? That sounds intense.
It shifts gears instantly. From quiet observation to this massive, really intensive operation. You've got thousands of seasonal workers, many coming from Mexico, Central America. They arrive ready to handle just immense volumes.
And the schedule must be brutal, especially in the summer heat. It's not a 9-to-5 job, I'm guessing.
No way. It's all about maximizing freshness and avoiding the worst of the heat. The morning shift often starts at 4 a.m. 4 in the morning? Wow.
Yep, while there's still dew on the fields. They'll work till maybe noon. And there's often an evening shift, too, maybe 6 p.m. until, sometimes as late as 2 a.m.
That's relentless. Just constant movement to get the freshest fruit out.
Exactly. It has to be.
So you mentioned this collective dance on the big farms. How does that work? Because having every single worker bend down, pick up a, 10-kilo melon, carry it, that seems impossible at scale.
It would be completely inefficient and exhausting. So they use the human chain. It's all about efficiency. Workers form a long line down the rows.
Okay.
The pickers choose the ripe ones, but instead of carrying them, they pass them hand to hand down the line. These melons, they're heavy, 5 to 10 kilos, sometimes even more.
And they just pass them along?
They actually toss them lightly, accurately, down the chain.
Wait, they toss them? Heavy watermelons. Don't they bruise or break? That sounds risky.
It sounds risky, but that's the specialized skill. It's not a hard throw. It's a precise, gentle pitch. Think of basketball players doing drills, maybe, but with soft gloves sometimes. They have to sync up perfectly, catch and release smoothly, keep the flow going, but make sure it lands softly in the big bins on the trucks nearby. It's honestly incredible to watch. Synchronized skill allows them to move tens of thousands of tons a day.
That level of coordination and skill is just hard to fathom. Okay, so the human chain gets them out of the field fast, but then they hit the processing facility, and this is where the tech really kicks in, right? Section 3. What's the first automated step? The melon spa, as our notes call it.
Right, the melon spa. Once they're gently unloaded, first thing is a thorough cleaning. They roll onto conveyor belts, go through these powerful water spray systems.
Blasting the dirt off.
Exactly. And then under big, soft brushes. Gets rid of all the field dirt, sand, debris, but without damaging the rind. This prep is crucial for the next stage, the high-tech sorting.
This is where the machines take over, lasers and scanners.
Pretty much. The clean melons move on to automated lines with these smart classification systems. We're talking high-speed optical sensors, laser scanners, complex algorithms running the show.
What exactly are these systems reading?
They're instantly analyzing each melon based on really precise criteria. Size, weight, shape. Even slight variations in peel color.
How precise? Like, can it tell if one is slightly football-shaped instead of round?
Oh, yeah. It measures volume, weight, any deviation from the ideal shape, color consistency. The algorithms are set to pass only the fruit that fits the premium market standards.
So what happens to the rejects?
If a melon's too small, too big, oddly shaped, maybe has a noticeable scratch, instantly identified and diverted off the main line. And these machines are fast sorting thousands of melons every hour.
Okay, thousands per hour. That's impressive. So with tech that sophisticated, does that mean humans are basically out of the loop at this point in the facility?
No, not at all. And that's really key. The AI, the sensors, they handle the volume, the basic sorting, the speed. But they can miss subtle things.
Like what?
Well, maybe a very slight discoloration that doesn't trigger the algorithm, but an experienced worker knows, that could be an early sign of something going wrong inside.
Yeah.
Or a cosmetic blemish the scanner might ignore. AI struggles with that kind of interpretive judgment.
Right. So the tech does the heavy lifting, size, weight, obvious flaws, but you still need the human eye for that final quality check.
Precisely. You'll always find inspection teams there. They're watching the machines, pulling fruits randomly, checking ones the system flagged for minor issues. It's really a blend. High-speed AI plus experienced human oversight. That combination is what guarantees quality for you buying it in the store.
Makes sense. Okay, so it's past inspection, it's graded. Now the challenge is keeping it fresh, right? It's come a long way fast, but it still needs to travel, maybe sit in a store. How do they preserve that just picked quality?
Two main things, packaging and cooling. First, they're carefully placed into large cardboard boxes, usually padded. These boxes weigh maybe 15 to 22 kilograms.
And they're labeled, I assume.
Oh, yes. Detailed labels. Type of melon, where it came from the specific farm, harvest date. Traceability is huge.
Yeah.
But the absolutely critical part is the cold chain. Watermelons are really sensitive. So within 24 hours of processing, those boxes go into special cooling rooms.
How cold do we tie it? Like a regular fridge?
Actually, no. Too cold is bad for watermelon. It causes chilling injury, damages the inside, ruins the texture and flavor.
Ah.
So the sweet spot is between 10 and 15 degrees Celsius, about 50 to 60 Fahrenheit, and crucially, very high humidity around 95%.
Why the high humidity?
That stops the melon from losing its own water content through evaporation. So that specific temperature range slows down ripening right when needed, and the humidity keeps it juicy. Extends the shelf life significantly, maybe up to 2 or 3 weeks, while keeping that fresh taste.
That's the journey for the perfect-looking ones. But what about those melons the scanners rejected? Minor blemishes, wrong size, they just get tossed. Seems wasteful.
Well, it used to be more wasteful, but not so much anymore. Our sources show there's a big secondary market now. A lot of that imperfect fruit goes into food processing.
Ah, like pre-cut cubes and juice.
Exactly. If you buy those tubs of ready-to-eat watermelon or bottled juice, that often comes from fruit that didn't make the premium fresh cut. It goes to separate lines, gets washed, peeled, seeded, then either juiced and pasteurized or cut into cubes and vacuum sealed.
Okay, good to know. And what about the parts you definitely can't eat, like the rind?
That's where sustainability really comes in. Modern agriculture tries to use everything, the rinds, any other waste material. It doesn't just go to landfill. It gets processed into valuable feed for livestock.
Really?
Yep. Or it's composted and turned into organic fertilizer, which then goes back onto the fields. It helps create a more closed-loop, sustainable system. Nothing wasted.
That's great to hear. This whole process, from a farmer tapping a melon to these high-tech cooling rooms, it really is an amazing mix of old-school skill and modern tech. But it can't be easy. What are the biggest challenges facing these farmers right now?
Oh, there are significant pressures. On the environmental side, climate change is a huge one. More extreme weather, severe droughts one year, sudden floods the next. Both can devastate a harvest. And then there are ongoing battles with pests and diseases.
Always a factor in farming.
Always. And economically. Labor costs are a major, major issue.
That human chain we talked about, that skilled labor isn't cheap, I imagine.
Exactly. The cost of those experienced seasonal workers keeps going up, and it puts a real strain on farmers' budgets. It's a growing burden.
But farmers are known for being innovators, right? How are they adapting? How are they fighting back against these pressures?
They definitely are. A lot of focus is on smart farming solutions. For instance, research into new watermelon varieties, ones that are naturally tougher, more resistant to drought or common pests. That reduces the need for, say, water or pesticides.
Makes sense. And technology.
Big time. They're adopting precision agriculture tools, things like soil moisture sensors that tell them exactly where and when to water, saving massive amounts of water.
Using drones, too.
Drones? For what? For very precise spraying of pesticides or fertilizers only where needed instead of broad application. Much more efficient and better for the environment.
So, optimizing everything around the harvest. Is the ultimate dream still to automate the picking itself? To replace the human chain?
That's definitely the long-term goal for many, given the labor challenge.
Right.
And there's serious research going into it. Scientists are working hard on developing smart robots, mechanized arms.
Robots picking watermelons.
Trying to, yeah. The challenge is immense, though. Building a robot that can gently handle a heavy, delicate, oddly shaped fruit, assess its ripeness like a human. It's incredibly complex engineering, it's promising, people are working on it, but it's still very much in the experimental phase.
It really brings it all together, doesn't it? From 1.7 million tons down to a single farmer's tap, the sweat of that human chain, the blink of a laser scanner, that precisely cooled box. It's a massive industry, hundreds of millions of dollars, built on this blend of tradition and cutting-edge tech.
It truly is. And that constant push for innovation, especially around automation, leads us to a really interesting final thought for you to ponder. We've talked about the incredible skill in that human harvest chain, the coordination, the gentle toss of a 10-kilo fruit without damage.
Yeah, amazing skill.
So, thinking about that blend of strength, dexterity, and judgment, do you think we'll actually see a day when robots can completely take over? Can a machine truly replicate that human touch for something so heavy, yet so delicate? It's a fascinating question about where farming technology is heading and maybe, just maybe, the limits of automation itself.